Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 365 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gaming podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, joined this week by the wholesome direct wear t-shirt wearing man himself, Mr. Dapper Mooney.
Howdly doodly do! It's Friday. You know what that means. It's video game day. And we're talking all kinds of video games. Like there's Baldur Gates video games. There's Stray Gods video games. There's pissing me off Dino Crisis video games. There are video games galore, and we're going to be talking about them. Amy, how have you been?
I don't know, like, just topics of discussion that will piss Mooney off more this week. Exoprimal, sure. Yeah, that's going to piss you off. Baldur's Gate. The game itself? No.
No.
The discussion we're going to have? I think I'll put that higher.
No, it's going to be an interesting discussion, that is for sure. It's going to be a very interesting discussion. But I also have a question. Have you not received this yet?
So I cancelled my order of that t-shirt, unfortunately, for financial reasons. I didn't want to bring it up.
I am sorry to hear that.
That's okay. I'll get the next one. I've still got my old one, so
That's true.
yeah, bright blue one. They do one every year, so I'll just get next year's. Wholesome direct suck this year. I'm just kidding. The wholesome direct suck this year. No, I'm just kidding.
Fighting words from Amy.
Hey, I backed a Kickstarter in the middle. Live on our Twitch channel
during
that live stream.
Yeah, you really did. It was really funny.
Yeah, just you talk, Moody. I'm busy. Forgot password.
Wait,
don't want any cookies. Two-step authentication.
Bank details 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, let me just read out my bank details really quick.
Like my partner did.
Yeah, that was interesting. What we were playing at Apex Legends. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
2, 3.
Started reading it out. You I remember this. This is this moment in Words About Games history. You didn't hear. I guess you didn't. You were filtering her out. And Keith just started, like, we and Keith sort of clicked in at the same time as what she was reading out loud, and Keith just went, and I just started going, like really loud on the stream.
Yeah, the brain didn't compute for me straight away.
It's like, I can't stop this. And I mean,
people get his details. It's not our fault. We tried.
We tried.
The Force wanted different.
Oh man, I don't know how my voice is gonna hold up, because I was telling you just before we hit go, like, it's been a dusty week. I've been doing a lot of cleaning and
You've got some sort of disease from the dust
in a lot of places that have not been touched by human hands for a while.
For a long, long time in a galaxy far, far away.
And like, it's fine, but because I haven't really had to talk that much, but now I have to talk for 2 hours, and it's like we're 4 minutes in, and I'm already like,
I am all for it to shortening this episode for your throat, Amy. I have no problem for that.
Look, right, if I can make it to the 2 hour mark when I've got COVID.
Yeah, and how did that work out for you? You were just dead for the next 2 days, 3, 4 days.
Just because there wasn't a podcast the next week. I felt bad about that, because that was during your
But I was working
when you were working at PlayStation, and it was like, of all the guest spots that I booked during like that time, I had a lot of recurring guests. But it was the only time I'd booked Patrick Welsh. Like, he has done the podcast before since the really early days, and I haven't had him on for a while, and it was the only time I had booked him in that entire time, like, that you were doing your thing at PlayStation, and I had to cancel on him, and I never managed to get him back on. So
you offended him. He was like, fuck you.
No. He's the nicest person. I don't think I could offend him. I feel like if I tried, which I would never try, I don't think I could. He's like the nicest guy ever. He sends me pictures of his dog every now and again, completely like unprompted. And it's always nice. Cool. It's a nice message to see.
Okay, I bet.
How are you doing, Moody?
I'm not bad. I've had a weird week. I feel exhausted. Like I feel like just physically exhausted right now. I haven't been sleeping the great.
Me neither.
Well, yeah, it's like I think it's more just the heat.
It's
warm around
that.
It's just like it's not like as warm as what it was when you were down for E3, but it's just like it's sustained. Well, yeah, it's more humid. It's like there's no air, and I'm like I'm close to just bringing in an ice bucket and throwing it on my bed and just lying on it.
The problem with that is, because I thought about this, you'll warm the water up. So eventually you'll just be lying in warm water.
In a water puddle, in a puddle by the end.
It'll be great for like that initial sort of like shock to the system.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've thought about like filling a bathtub full of like cold water and going to sleep in that. But the water all warm. It's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then out of nowhere, I had an anxiety attack on Tuesday night.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it completely fucked me for yesterday. I wasn't at work yesterday.
Oh, damn.
Like it completely fucked me. Like it just takes it completely out of me. Yeah. Like I'm just like I was tired, but then I was tired after that. My body was like, yeah,
it's an exhausting experience.
We're not doing it, mate.
Like nope.
And whatnot.
Yeah.
Partner came and helped me with that, thank God. But no, yeah, it was like. So like it's been a weird week.
Sounds like it's been a weird
week. Work's going fine and everything like that, but it's just like it was just like really weird. Like I was back today at work, all went fine and everything like that. And yeah, one more day and I'm off for 2 days.
Me too. For once.
Yeah. Well, I'm
gonna get to experience what it's like to be a real person
on a weekend, doing a 9 to 5 job on a Monday to Friday.
Well, it's 8 till 3. It's close enough.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. The Dolly Parton song says "working 9 to 5."
Well, the good thing about the Dolly Parton song is you can really like remix it any way you want. Working 8 to 4
or 3.
Coming home for a nap. It's good. No, it's board game day on Saturday. So.
Well, okay, fuck you. We won't do anything.
We could do something on the night.
Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll discuss it.
Did you see there's a big FAS update? Huge FAS update today. They're adding the new progression systems and the new items and everything.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Vitz showed
I did not see it. I did not see that.
Vitz saw it. I missed it. Ryan missed it. You've clearly missed it. But Vitz, who doesn't play the game, because he doesn't play scary games, saw it and showed it at me. And I was like, oh, damn.
Oh, wait. The person who doesn't play scary games saw there was a massive update, yet the people who play the scary game had no idea that there was a massive update.
The core members of the Ghost Fighters who have been ghost fighting for 3 years.
I would say I was ghost singing, but okay.
Well, no, because we were going to call ourselves, like Ghost, but copyright, so we called ourselves.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, the bust part was taken, apparently.
Yeah.
But the ghost wasn't. It's weird.
Well, no, you can't copyright a ghost, right?
That's true. But we could copyright a letter.
Yeah.
We could go GB.
Yeah. That's a tainted brand, I think.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know about GB.
Yeah.
Or UK. What's your favourite letter?
I don't think I have a favourite letter.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever thought of that.
No, because why would you? Like, of course you haven't. You're not like me. I've thought of this before.
I have a favourite word, if that helps.
What's your favourite word?
Smeghead.
Oh, of course it is.
I say that all the time when I'm swearing at work. I say, Smeghead! I go, fudge sake, you fudging Smeghead. That's basically what I say. Fudge and Smeghead is my swear word.
Just marching into that programmer's office, to tell them about the bug that you've told them about 17 times already. You just throw the folder. I'm imagining like a whiplash situation. Or like that scene in Mike Bassett, England Manager, where he's just swearing all the time and it beeps out all of the swearing.
I enjoyed that film.
It's a fun film for what it is.
Yeah, it
but
really
it's one of those films where I'm sure if I go back to watch it now, it's probably racist. Yeah. It's probably really racist.
It's the whole freaking shebang, probably.
What was Phil watching? The 1950s Peter Pan cartoon.
Oh, good God.
And as soon as he said it, I was like, I know what scene he's talking about because I remember that scene.
Yeah.
And he was like, we got this bit. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what F1 talks about now when it comes to Peter Pan.
So I turned around and I said, have fun watching Dumbo again. Because holy shit, I resaw like a scene from that film recently, like in the last couple of months, and I was like, I used to watch this when I was a kid. Like, it's not the internet, it's not violent video games. It's the cartoons from like the 40s and 50s that really fuck kids up.
No, really, not aged well. Yeah. It's insane, but yeah,
it's you just watch stuff and you go, oh, with the context of like life experiences, right?
Life experiences.
So when you're a kid, you're not gonna notice things like that in your cartoons. You're just gonna clap when the elephant starts flying. Colors. and then
dancing music.
You rewatch it later and you go, colors.
That's wrong.
Did that work? Was that a thing?
No,
I'm very
tired.
So.
I can see that. It's the problematic films at the end of the day just haven't aged well at the end of the day, but yeah, it's a learning moment. And just don't show your kids them. Just don't show it. Phil, next time, just don't show them. Okay? Just ignore them and just don't show them that, okay?
So the reason it came up was because, so like, you got Paramount Plus Kids. And then Paramount Plus. And Peter Pan's not in the kids section.
Why would it be? It's a Disney movie.
Or Disney Plus. I don't know. He was talking about it being in a kids section. I don't know if he was.
Gotta be Disney Plus.
Well, I might be crossing my wires with like two different conversations about two different streaming services. But it basically was like it wasn't in the kids section. It was in the normal section. And I was like, yeah, that'll be why.
Does it come up with a thing attached?
I was going to say, if you click on a movie to watch, like a kid's movie to watch, and it comes up with one of those cards at the beginning, you might want to reconsider. I'm just saying. I mean, okay, there's, you know what? I'm sure plenty of movies that are getting made right now for kids, like in 60 years from now, will probably have those types of messages come up in front of them because of some dumb shit we didn't.
Hey Phil, I've got a good film for your kids to watch. Show them Watership Down.
Have you watched Bambi yet?
Have you watched Land Before Time?
Oh fuck!
The greatest mother of all time. Oh my god, the worst death of all time.
Oh Jesus! Spoilers.
Spoilers. It's been out 40 years now, people. So get over it.
Transformers the movie was pretty fucking brutal.
It killed the hero on its
If you were someone who watched the TV show as a kid and then watched the movie, because like everyone's like, oh yeah, they kill Optimus Prime. It's like no. In the first 5 minutes of the film, they basically murder the entire cast of the Transformers original series.
Yeah, just so they could sell new toys.
Yeah. They don't just introduce the new toys and have the old toys go off on an adventure somewhere else. They fucking murder them, all of them.
Oh. I like Rodimus Prime.
I didn't mind the new Transformers.
You got the touch. Rise of Rodimus Prime. It's so awesome.
I didn't mind the new Transformers at all. Apart from that really fast talky one that ran around. I didn't like him.
Are you talking about the cartoon one?
The movie, yeah.
Oh, the movie. Oh, that one. Yeah, the one that gets pulled apart.
No, he was just an idiot. I found he was fine. There was like I think he was red. I mean, he ran around a lot and he talked really, really quickly.
That's Transformers. That's Transformers too. I think you're thinking.
No, it was definitely. I've seen the original Transformers movie like 7,000.
What, the Michael Bay one?
No, I'm talking about the cartoons.
I asked you, are you meaning the live action or the cartoon? You said live action.
The live action. I've seen 2 live action Transformers films and I've regretted both of them. Not just disliked, regretted watching both of them.
Okay. Have you tried Bumblebee?
No, I've heard Bumblebee's pretty good though.
That's really good. I think you would actually really like that one.
I probably
it's
would.
Not directed by Michael Bay.
That might be why. Why does Michael Bay feel the need to set off fireworks inside all of his explosions?
Oh, the 4th one's the best one.
It just looks really
distracting. You can
distracting.
actually see the line of fireworks while they're running down the line. You can see it. Boom, boom. It's like, how bad of a shot? Who's worse of a shot? The Decepticons and Transformers, or the Stormtroopers? Because I think it could be close.
Maybe. I haven't seen enough Transformers movies to form a conclusive opinion.
That's true.
And I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's true. It was really funny. So yes, I didn't watch it all because I went to bed, but I started rewatching Star Wars: A New Hope.
Cool.
And I just thought, I feel watching Star Wars. I feel like I want to watch Star Wars. Ahsoka's coming out soon, so I feel like watching Star Wars. So I thought, all right, let's watch Star Wars. So I started watching New Hope, and it got to the part of like when Obi-Wan's talking about like when the big giant machine that's been shot up by the Stormtroopers and everything like that, and he says, "Oh, these blast marks aren't random shots; they're precision shots." Are sinking from Stormtroopers. Have you met Stormtroopers? You clearly have not met Stormtroopers, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, so no, in his day, they were clone troopers, and they were good shots because he had to keep deflecting the blasts with his lightsaber.
That's true, but I just think it's funny.
Proof.
Just now, when you hear that, and you're just thinking, he hasn't met the new ones yet.
Conclusive proof that fascism rots your brain.
Anyway, so I want to bring up something that I don't know if you're going to want to talk about.
I don't know if this is a good fascism segues and okay.
Not fascism. I don't want to talk about fascism. Don't worry. We live in enough of that already. It's all right. Strange New Worlds.
I mean, so I do want to talk about it, but because of the strike, I don't want to talk about it on the podcast. If that makes sense.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, people. You'll have to come back when the strikes are over. How about the studios pay the writers and actors properly? Thank you very much.
Goddamn right. But yes, no, I don't mind talking about it with you, like,
cool.
Afterwards.
Cool.
I know we're on opposite sides of the fence when it comes to how we thought it landed.
That's fair.
But yes.
Okay. I have nothing else to talk about then. We can just get straight
okay,
into
so
the
podcast.
episode
So we're doing all right.
All right, cool. That's all right. Let's start talking about Star Trek, Amy. Let's go.
Back it up. Yeah, we no Star Trek, no podcast.
That's a title. No Star Trek, no podcast. Don't do that. I know you would.
I've baked the podcast title into the show notes this week, which is Baldur's Gate 3 and industry standards.
Yep.
We already talked about this. Like, I feel like we're trendsetters.
Basically, yeah. IGN just behind the times as always.
Like, I don't want to go into this being all like,
fuck IGN.
Fuck IGN, but like, wow, like this was a new low for them. I feel.
So why don't
we'll explain the situation.
Explain the situation, so the listeners can know what is happening. For the main topic, we're talking about Baldur's Gate 3 and the industry standards.
Yeah. So like, I'm not on Twitter anymore, like at all now. So I'm mostly on Blue Sky. So like for discourse to reach me on social media is impressive. Like, that's what I'm going to say first and foremost. For me to find out about someone doing something really fucking dumb, because that's not what you've been on Blue Sky for a while now. That's not what Blue Sky is about. People are rarely talking about discourse on Blue Sky, but they talked about this. That's how stupid it was. Like, so a while ago, a few weeks ago, I think it was, so we did a podcast, I think 2 weeks ago, talking about Baldur's Gate 3 and industry standards, because one of the directors of the game was responding to some tweets by a developer, Zalavir. He was talking about like the pre-release hype of Baldur's Gate 3. So it's going to set a new standard for RPGs, and why that's, and we'll go into the same reasons that he talked about it won't. But we talked about this a few weeks ago, and then it came up again because an IGN video came out by Destin Legare. I don't actually know how to pronounce. I know that's his name. I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I was gonna look it up out of like just respect. But since he didn't look up how to pronounce the developer he's quoting his name, I feel like in the spirit of things, I'm not gonna bother.
Fair.
But yeah, it's like an 8-9 minute video. I watched it.
So did I.
Unfortunately, it's one of the most ill-informed pieces of content, not journalism, content I've seen. Like, to his credit, Destin is making a point that I kind of agree with.
Yes, I don't deny. There's certain parts of the video I do agree with.
Yeah, because so the tweet, so like the series of tweets was Baldur's Gate 3 shouldn't be held up as an industry standard for a variety of reasons. Mostly due to like, you know, time, money, experience. Like Zalavir in the tweet said himself, like, you know, studios will die if they try to do, like, a lot of studios would die if they tried to like do a game on the scale or scope of Baldur's Gate 3. And that's why I can't set an industry standard, because most game studios can't meet that standard. And the premise of the video that came out was Destin essentially it's a reaction video. It's not like a journalistic video in any sense. And his jumping off point was, well, why can't AAA games come out like in like the same state as Baldur's Gate 3? Making several inaccurate statements in the process, but like I think a lot of his video, like, it came from a good place, but aimed the cannon in the wrong direction, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So for me, like, that question is for me is a legitimate question. I do not disagree with what he's asking there whatsoever. From AAA development standards, why can't AAA developments be hitting this type of standard for the most part every time? Mm-hmm. Sadly, it's a lot of things that we've already discussed about: manpower, just development costs and time and everything like that. But also, one of the main things is there's two main things that I've come to in my head. Is that one, obviously, it's the corporate greed. They want to just keep chopping these games out as fast as they can. And also, no offense, the audience don't help with this either.
Oh, so
no. What he's stating is completely spot on to the part of, like, we should be expecting a higher standard of AAA development. We've been calling that for freaking years. Like, we haven't really enjoyed AAA development for a long, long time. There's only been like a couple of games over the last few years that have really hit us, but they're more exclusive AAA games more than just big old cross-platform massive multiplayer games. It's like the God of War, The Last of Us, and everything like that. Like Halo for Halo Infinite for you and everything like that. You know, So that question, I think I completely agree with. We should be holding these people to a higher standards. Sadly, the audience don't back that up. When they can come out and say we want higher standards, then the only way to back this up is not buy the game. You've been consistently year on year on making FIFA one of the biggest selling games of all the time, every single time. And I can tell you right now, it is basically the same game every single year. Some people may argue, so no, they do change things. No, they do not. I can guarantee you this. I have spoken to people, okay? So don't even fucking try it with me. And then you've also got, the same goes for Call of Duty. Call of Duty is the same thing over and over and over and over again all the time. And so on. And so when you keep going out and buying those games and then also backing up the things with other games and everything, like Diablo 4, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, fucking broken mess. You made it one of the best-selling games of Pokemon's history. Thank you very much. So when you are showing the corporates that you don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about it. That is the complete thing about it. Like, the questions he's asking is completely spot on. We, the audience, us, even me in AA indie development, should be like screaming at the AAA development, please give us a higher standard of AAA games because you are not giving us this whatsoever. What everyone is saying about Baldur's Gate 3, for what I've seen, I haven't played much whatsoever. I've literally played about an hour. I'm literally waiting now to go onto the PlayStation 5 to play on it because I prefer to play on the console. And I enjoyed how I played it with a controller. So if they've transferred that over properly, I'm going to be lit for that. It does raise this industry standard. It should, but it will not. Sadly,
but it can't. Because, for reasons that we'll get into. Yeah, we're not going to just dance around those reasons. I do want to talk about those as well. Like the issues, like for starters, my issue with the video is, like you pointed out, he asks a great question, and I agree, he asks a great question. Answer the question, like, because answers exist. They're out there. They're not they're easy to find. They're easy to find if you're a game journalist, right? Like for me, if I'm making a video about a topic, any topic, and it asks a question, what I try to do in that video is answer the question as best as I can, because otherwise the video is pointless. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't understand. Like, I get why he's done it. It's rage bait. It's, IGN got a lot of clicks that day, pulling the same shit that all of the YouTube outrage content creators do to get their clicks. So I know why it happened. But yeah, no, the video in itself and its existence pissed me off because it just had no journalistic intent. Like, there was no journalism happening. And
he was a YouTuber. I don't mean that in a nasty way. YouTubers work their asses off, but YouTubers 9 times out of 10 don't do anything of journalism whatsoever. They are there to react most of the time. Yeah, that's what they do for the most part. Sorry if I offended
reacting to the tweets of an indie developer. Yeah. And to use as a springboard to complain about AAA games. Number one, like, the internet works in a certain way. Like, and Xavier has gotten a lot of shit on social media because his tweets were featured in that video in a negative light. I've been kind of following along with sort of the reactions to the video, not just necessarily from like people in the industry. Like, this is where I got it from. Like, I saw people in the industry talking about it, and then I went and found it. But sort of like I normally say the gamers as a derogatory term, but like this time I literally just mean the gamers as in just the gaming community in general. And seeing like people reply to it. Essentially, what's happened with Destin making this video is he's created this sort of idea that developers who are worried about the standard that Baldur's Gate 3 would create that they wouldn't be able to hit, who are mostly indie developers in this instance, are complaining about Baldur's Gate 3, which is not happening at all. Like, there's an interesting discussion to be had about the standards that Baldur's Gate 3 hits, but also recognizing that Celavi is not going to be able to hit those standards. Like, he's not going to be able to make an RPG that steps up to Baldur's Gate 3. Most studios won't be able to make that game.
And there's no doubt about it. No indie or AA studio will probably be able to do any of this whatsoever.
And until the AAA, sorry to butt in, until the AAA industry changes significantly in the way that it operates, most AAA developers aren't going to be able to make that kind of game in a AAA studio. Because, like, why did Star Wars Jedi Survivor come out in the state that it did? Because it needed to be out in a specific part of the fiscal year so that the shareholders at EA would be happy. Like, we how many times have we talked about a AAA game, coming out and being like, that needed 6 months, that needed another year, that it was never going to get because it had to hit a certain target release window for the shareholders, and they knew they were going to make X amount of money. That's why Cyberpunk came out the way it is. They had to release it. And sometimes that goes in the other direction of other studios who aren't necessarily beholden to like shareholders and investors and stuff. Sometimes you just run out of money and you got to release what you got. Like, I saw someone talking about game development essentially being developers trying to make the best game they possibly can before the money runs out.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's what it is for the most part, and everything like that. I can't get into anything, obviously, what's happening what I work at and everything like that. But it's like every AA and indie developer is on a shoestring budget for the most part. Yes, AA has no doubt about more money than indie developer and everything like that.
But I imagine it costs more money to make Bramble than Sticky Business.
Probably did.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. I probably did. And everything like that. But yeah, it's like it's like I say, like the questions he asks is like a spot on, but he's just directed it in such a bad way where you're seeing idiots online who are literally saying, IGN have done a really good video for once. It's took them 10 years to do a good video for a long, long time. Seriously, IGN, that's how bad your content is these days, okay? You should really look at yourselves. But and they're all agreeing with him, though. That's the thing about it. They're all, for the most part, are all agreeing with him, and they're just idiots who just do not understand things whatsoever when it comes to this type of thing. And that's the thing about it. This video could, like, yes, hold AAA development to a higher standard. I hope you bloody do, for God's sakes. But you're not. And like the Destin, I think is it?
Yeah.
Destin, I'll say this to you as well. You need to hold them to a higher standard as well, because no offense, when you're coming out and giving things like 8s, 9s, 10s out of 10s, when really they're fucking not.
I did.
Then you really need to fucking sort your shit out as well, mate. Like, you called out games that you, no offense, love, and if like you're a massive fan of Destiny, you praise that all the fucking time. You praise it all the time, and they do crap shit all the time. They've come out with excuses of why they can't do multiple like skins and all like that, and why they have to do and all this shit and whatnot. And you constantly praise them. You never criticize them.
And that's the important distinction, right? Because like I know friends who fucking love Destiny. I used to be one of those people when the game first came out. Me and Keith and our friend Mark, we fucking smashed that game. Like, we were playing it every week, but like it's the difference between like I love this thing, but there are things that are worth criticizing about it. You know what I mean? Like, I love a lot of things, but a lot of those things are worth criticizing. When I eventually sit down to do my proper review of Baldur's Gate 3, I will have things to be critical about of that game.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Doesn't mean I love the game any less.
Yeah.
But there are definitely things where it's like, okay.
The thing is about, for me, why I do not like IGN very much is because it is the lack of journalism integrity, basically. There's some there who do amazing content, amazing articles. We've read them out before and everything like that. Rebecca Valentine.
Rebecca Valentine is a gem.
She is an absolute gem and everything.
And there are others as well.
Does proper journalism and everything like that. But some of them are just there thinking they're YouTube content creators now, who would prefer to just ask questions but never actually come up with an answer. And everything like that. I don't see a lot of a lot of them just do the same thing what YouTube content creators, and I'm really getting sick of it. You're a journalist. Do your journalism. Do your journalistic intent, for God's sakes.
I've worked with creators before who have done this, and it's never something I've done on purpose. Like, I've put out videos before that have been controversial. I remember when I had the Google Stadia subreddit coming for me. Like, the entire subreddit, like, that doesn't happen to people like me, but it did. But
where are you now, guys? Just so you know, where are you now?
Yeah, who's laughing now, suckers? Not me, because I would have preferred that platform to be really good for the people who liked it. But like, I've worked with creators before who and they do it like legit on purpose. They'll pick a topic that they know is going to piss people off, and then they'll title it in an incendiary way, and then the words in the video don't really matter as long as they get that click that dislike button, and they get that comment to boost their video to see more and more views. Like when I put that Google Stadia video out and it started getting really fucking hammered, I deleted it. Like, I didn't keep it up. I was like, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm not here to make people mad. So I just deleted it. But there's people out there who are trying to fish for that exact kind of engagement, and I'm never trying to fish for that. I get it sometimes, just because of the way I am. But yeah, anyway, that was aside.
It's like I hate about a lot of things is like when people just say, "Oh, let's play devil's advocate," and that's not your opinion, though.
Yeah, no, I hate that phrase.
I hate devil's advocate. I'm saying that's not your opinion. You're just trying to fucking stir the pot.
I've literally a previous co-host once said that on the podcast, and I literally just went, "The devil doesn't need an advocate." I was like, we're not doing devil's advocate here. But yes. So like let's answer the question then, like, because I feel like I have just about enough of a grasp to be able to partially answer the questions that were asked in the video, which is a bad sign for Destin's entire premise of his video. If I can like watch his video and go, did you think about this though? Like, that's a bad sign for him, because I don't know much of anything. But yeah, his premise essentially was like, why can't more games come out? Like, he mentioned 3. Well, he mentioned 2 games and a developer specifically in the video itself, which was Baldur's Gate 3, obviously, Tears of the Kingdom, and then From Software, like, just as a development studio as a whole. But we'll just go with Elden Ring, because
Elden Ring in there.
That was the latest game that they made. And like, there's specific reasons why those 3 games exist in the way that they do. For starters, and I want to poke a hole, this is how I knew the video was going to be bad, because, you know, his premise was right at the beginning, why can't games come out finished and polished like Baldur's Gate 3? Number 1, it's not as polished as you think it is. And number 2, it didn't. It launched 3 years ago, incomplete, in early access, and still charged $60. Like, it literally didn't launch finished or polished. In fact, I remember, and I think we talked about it on the podcast briefly, that the game didn't have a great reception when it came out, because even for an early access game, it was quite buggy and glitchy. Like, and that leads me to the answer of why is Baldur's Gate 3 so polished and complete? Because it was in early access for 3 years. Because they had the Dungeons and Dragons license behind them.
Yeah.
Because they've made games like this before.
Yeah, that's the thing about early access is a good way for developers to be able to, it's like a quote unquote get out free jail card, basically, because basically it's like, it's still development. We're still development. You notice we are speaking to you so we can see where we want to go with this, see where you would like us to go with it. It's a lot more easier thing about it to engage with your community, as long as the community is respectful and gives the proper critiques. Yeah. Gives them good feedback and critiques and everything like that. So it's the same with Hades. Hades did the same thing. It's like, that was an amazing game, but I'm sure when that came out was not a bad boogie game. Don't hold me to that. I did not know what the state was when it came out in early access.
It was pretty stable. It didn't have a lot in it, though.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about it. Like, it didn't have a lot in it, so that means it's still in development, but they're getting feedback. They're seeing where they can go with it. It's the same thing what will be with Hades too. When that goes into early access, probably late this year, early next year, whatever, and this type of thing about it, that's what it's going to be. And it's just like development, like, I like how, like Destin said it in the video, I know development's hard. Do you?
Well, he also said multiple times in the video. Now, I don't really know the answers to these questions, and again, I was just screaming, like, at my phone, just saying, "Well, find the answers then, because they're out there."
Speak to the industry. Talk to them about it and everything like that. They'll give you an answer and everything like that.
Do you know what? Yeah, do you want to know? Like, I have many friends who are game developers, and do you know one of the things that I like is very easy to get them to talk about a lot is fucking game development. Your motherfuckers love talking about making games. It's not hard to get you to talk about it.
Yeah, it's like it's really it's awesome. I won't
Yeah.
lie. I'm in a privileged situation with what I've worked for, and everything like that, and worked towards. But it's like, I come back to it all the time. It's just like the thing is about it. Even I knew this before. I know. Let me rephrase this. I didn't find this out until I was at college and everything like that. Like, video game development is not only a fucking hard, Destin, but it's also incredibly hard to find the right talent to be able to do any game in general. Like, a lot of them are obviously very young and just don't have the experience to be able to do what you want them to do and everything like that. And some of them who are just absolute wizards at coding and building all these levels and everything like that are so locked down into a company with multi-year contracts, basically, where they're getting paid shit ton of money. They only focus on one thing, and that is the game that company's getting them to do and everything. So it's like it's incredibly difficult to find the talent. Like multiple places are hiring like or wanting to hire like crazy, but it's incredibly difficult to be able to do this because you just can't. There's not enough experience out there. It's hard to find the people you want to find to be able to do this job that you want to do and everything, but you just can't. And it's like a lot of things. The worst thing is about it, like, quote unquote, I'm going to be dubbed a senior of the industry in 4 years' time. No, 3.5 years' time.
Get off my yard, you kids.
Senior of the industry.
Can I?
How fucking crazy is that?
To like go on a tangent a little bit from the topic, but what you just said really fascinates me from my experiences over the last couple of years. Like, there's not enough experienced talent to go around in the industry. Is this in part due to the fact that most entry-level jobs in the game industry require game dev experience? Yes. And maybe this is the consequences starting to come through now.
Yeah. But it's also like the older generation of developers who just didn't teach. Just kept to their small little teams and everything like that, and just to keep into that core teams are like you've seen what's happened, like the Activision Blizzards, the Ubisofts, and all like that.
We've seen a lot of people just leave the industry altogether because of the way the industry is.
And they've made money. They've either made their money or they've just been driven out and everything.
Gone because the industry software dev.
Yeah, the industry is incredibly difficult at the same time because I'll state again, I'm in a privileged situation where I'm at and everything like that. They take care of me and everything like that. Like the thing I talked about at the beginning of the episode, I spoke to my boss today about it, and he's like, we got a good talk about it and everything like that, and whatnot. And we're looking to obviously things to help me out and everything. And that's just how it is for me at my place.
Yeah.
But sadly, other places aren't like that. Yeah. What we've stated before, Ubisoft, Activision, Blizzard, bloody Riot Games was a few years ago. Thankfully, it does seem like that's moving in the right direction, but again, we're still watching you. And all the other shit-ass places out there and whatnot. How we got bloody years ago, what we reported on, Team 17's former CEO got her staff to wrap her Christmas presents. Like, that's how the shit is sometimes in some of the industry. There's nothing but shit. And it scares people away, and it just has nothing but a toxic, I'll say, fucking man culture in the industry. And it is. I was trying to think of the word what was said for the Activision one.
Frat boy culture.
Frat boy culture. Either way, it's still the same thing, really. Of what's still in the industry and everything, and it's you're asking for something that is not possible. There's a reason why the really good developers, like the person who you've brought up and everything, are in indie development or are in AA development, and they're not in the AAA development. 9 times out of 10, I bet most of them don't want to be in it. It's just a more stable job, probably, for the most part.
Yeah, I imagine it's definitely more stable to work for a big studio than, no offense to you and your studio, to work for a smaller studio.
Yeah, and that's just how it is. It's like, I want higher standards for AAA games. I beg for it every single freaking day. I can tell you most of the team I work with beg for it every day because we bitch about it all the time. and whatnot. Like we've stated, like Baldur's Gate 3 is the standard, what we should be all screaming for and everything like that. But it's not going to happen. And I'll say this: what Dustin says at the end, like when it came to like he's a friend of Mass Effect. I'm worried as shit about Mass Effect, but I'm also scared for Dragon Age. That's been in fucking development hell for years, and it's probably starting again because they brought in a new guy to run the fucking thing, and we don't even know when that's going to happen and everything like that. So it's like a whole. The rest of it is also like bad management. Management is just terrible at places. We've seen, like I've just brought up, BioWare and everything, Activision, Blizzard, Ubisoft, and most of it is also corporate greed. Like you said, EA dropped Star Wars, which is just, for me, it was a bad game for me personally, because so they can hit that corporate number. So they can appease their shareholders. And that's all it was for them. And that's the shitty thing about it. When you see the fucking CEO will take, what, $50-60 million a year and everything like that. And that's just his wage, and takes whatever in bonuses and whatnot. And yet they fire a ton of people all the time. EA, Activision, the whole freaking shebang of the AAA development. And you want a higher standard.
Well, that brings me actually that's a very good segue into the second part of the question, which was how can Nintendo release games like Tears of the Kingdom? And again, it's because the people who work at who developed Tears of the Kingdom have worked there on Legend of Zelda games for a long time, because Nintendo doesn't have this culture of clearing out their staff and then bringing in an entirely new set of staff for their next game. Like, there's people who worked on Tears of the Kingdom who've probably worked on Skyward Sword and Wind Waker, and maybe he's going all the way back to Majora's Mask from the N64 days, and that's how that works. And they can come out in the state that they are. And again, Tears of the Kingdom, not a 100% massively polished game. Like, it has frame rate issues for damn sure. But we look past these things for games that are like special, right? And again, it comes down to it being the exception rather than it being the rule of Nintendo can release that game whenever they fucking want. They've got the money to delay it for as long as they need to, and have the incentive to do that, and probably did do that. Like we've been wondering since like 2019 when that game was coming out, because it felt like it might be like around the corner.
The game was not playable in 2022.
Yeah,
that's what I know and everything like that. It was a buggy mess and everything like that. So it was made. The game was playable. You could play from beginning to the end and everything like that. In a buggy ass mess, by the way, but it was playable. But they did the smart thing of holding off. Mm-hmm. They knew what they had, and Breath of the Wild literally raised Zelda up to a top tier level of what freaking Sony and Microsoft wish they could have when it came to their games and everything like that. Like, and that's the crazy thing about that. Like, well, like what you're saying is spot on with Nintendo. Nintendo just keeps hold of their staff. Mm-hmm. When it comes to this, especially the top tier stuff and whatnot. And but yeah, like Breath of the.
Because Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, my brain fired like Tears of the Kingdom was a broken mess in 2022. I can confirm this. I can guarantee you this. And but Nintendo's thing is different though. Like, they keep all of the talent, but they just don't give them the hardware to work on the fucking all. If they had the PlayStation 5 settings of Microsoft, the Xbox Series X, that game's out 2 years ago. Or at least last year.
Or they just added more stuff to it.
Yeah, no, even that. And whatnot. But yeah, that's the thing. That's a completely different thing, though. But yeah,
Nintendo can hold their games back as long as they want, and they retain their talent. That's the reason. That's the reason. And it fucking infuriates me that didn't make it into the video. Like, because there's your answer, and I know this. How do I know this and you don't? What the fuck? There are probably other reasons, and it's the same with From Software. They're a third party developer, but they have that reputation where it's like, look, man, Elden Ring, no matter when it fucking came out, was gonna make bank. So Bandai just kept writing those checks because they knew they had a fucking banger on their hands, and that's just how you. And again, From Software have made similar games for a long time. honing their craft. So then you end up with something like Elden Ring, comes out, boom, sells 20 million copies or whatever it is. It's like they know they can afford to hold that, and their reputation gives them that. Whereas like other developers who don't have that reputation, like again, they run out of money. So it's like I have to push the release button now, or I'm never going to be able to push it.
Yeah, it's like this is the thing about what's even more infuriating, or with like the lot of things that we've spoken about throughout this year, like about times of like how crap the whole thing has been with Microsoft and everything. Forget about like them buying Activision Blizzard. It's just how they are managing their studios. Redfall, it's a AAA game. What going off from the consensus and what you said, and from Steph Sterling's video and everything, and SkillUp's video, that fucking game's a broken mess.
Oh yeah,
and released in a complete disgusting state, and yeah, I can't help you here and everything like that. It's like when it comes to it, so like that's just what I'm saying. It's just like Microsoft, Phil Spencer could say all the hell he wants. He should have cancelled that game. We all know this was. We all know this.
Some of the developers at Arcane Austin said that allegedly.
Yeah.
They wish they hope the acquisition would mean that Microsoft would have cancelled it.
And Arcane lost a lot of their team because they didn't want to work on this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's been stated and everything like that. And it's just like companies go for the quick buck. Like, that's what they were doing.
Yeah, it's like so. Yeah, I mean, recalling the details of the article that I think Jason wrote about Redfall's development. It's like in comparing it to like the documentary about Horizon, the development of Horizon Zero Dawn. It's like how many people did Arcane Austin lose because they were mandated from above to create a specific type of game.
Yeah.
That the people who had to make the game didn't want to make, compared to the development of Horizon Zero Dawn, which was, hey, everybody who wants to pitch a game idea, and we'll make the one that the most people are excited about, and that game became Horizon Zero Dawn. How many people do you think Guerrilla Games lost during the development of making a game that the studio was excited to make?
Not many.
Exactly. Like if you're making the thing that you're excited to make, you're not going to leave. You're not going to leave.
Not at all. There's no doubt about that. Like, it's
if I was a game developer and I got to work on a game like Baldur's Gate 3, you fucking no way I'm leaving.
Yeah. So like the thing about it. So like when the whole question is a bloated question that just had zero journalistic and
there was an interesting like half an hour, 20-minute whatever video in what Destin was trying to get across. If instead of making it this rhetorical question that advertently or inadvertently attacked a bunch of indie developers, actually went into the nuances and the details and asked those questions to the relevant people and got the answers back. There was an interesting video in there.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Destin decided to make the other kind of video.
The YouTube video.
The YouTube video.
Yeah. And that's what it went for. And it's, yeah, like, and the thing is about it now my worry is like, they're going to be expecting this from every single game. And I hope it's not. Because at the end of the day, like I said last week, Vampire is one of my favorite games. It's nothing. It is not a Baldur's Gate 3.
No.
It's not.
No.
It's a simple story food game where you create food. Yeah. And that's it. I mean, and it's one of my favorite games this year. That's how great it is about this.
During our review, like, I even said at one point, like, kind of compared Venbet to Viewfinder and said, like, I love both of these games for different reasons because I'm looking for different things from both of those games. Like, I'm going to finish Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to play some weird indie shit for a bit. Like, to just decompress. But, like, when I pick up, like, the next RPG that I play, I'm not going to go into it going, right, you better be as good as Baldur's Gate 3 with as much content. And, you know, enough voice lines that have been recorded that's apparently longer than all 3 Lord of the Rings extended editions. Like, I'm not going to, no. I'm going to take each game as it comes, and you know what I mean? I'm going to enjoy them. And this is where I want to end it on. It's like, why the fuck did we feel the need to do this? Like, as a as an industry of people that talk about video games, this fucking incredible video game came out that's the most highly best reviewed game of the year on both OpenCritic and Metacritic. And it's just like, why couldn't we just enjoy that for a bit? Why did we have to fucking do this? Like, can we just enjoy the video games, please? Instead of having to make a discourse about it.
Yeah. That's the thing about it. Thing is, I'm knocking on wood for this for not to happen, but for fuck's sake, if it comes out that Baldur's Gate's team's crunched like crazy for this game, one, we're going to be, me and Amy, we're kicking off when that happens. Sure. If that happens. Touch wood. And everything like that. Guarantee you the fucking industry ain't going to talk about it. Mr. O journalism person, journalism destiny, I bet you don't even fucking mention it, mate. Whatso fucking ever. You don't give a fuck about the people. You think about, I want Baldur's Gate 3 every single fucking time of high quality with multiple missions and everything like that. Oh, go fuck yourself, mate. If that actually fucking happens and you don't say a single thing, and I mean everyone at IGN, if you don't say a single fucking thing about this thing, you fucking should hand in your journalism badge and swap it to a twat of a YouTuber badge.
Sorry, I just thought of that meme where it's like, I'm quitting, I'm handing in my badge and my gun. And then it's like, you're what? It's a zookeeper meme. The zookeeper says, I'm quitting, I'm handing in my badge and my gun. And then the other zookeeper goes, you're what?
Why did you?
It's like all gaming journalists are issued a badge and a gun. Sorry.
Like, no. Fine. Like, yeah, it's like we all want better games.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited for Spider-Man 2. I'll state this. It's probably not going to be near anything what Baldur's Gate 3 is so far.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate, like, in terms of, like, enjoying games, like, again, I take games as they come and, like, in the context that they are, but, like, in terms of just, like, the general scope of, like, video games as a whole, for 2023, like, Baldur's Gate 3 shifted some goalposts for me as someone who's like 55 hours into the game.
Baldur's Gate 3 and Legend Zelda have raised great standards. There's no doubt about that for content and everything like that, for what you should want.
Yeah.
But the thing is about it, not every game is an open world fucking game.
Yeah, it's
open world giant RPG.
I thought of a better way to describe it. It's sort of like it's raised the bar. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not necessarily raised the bar where I'm like, other games have to like surpass this bar. It's more like, now I know the bar is higher, like for video games, right? Like, because we always talk about, you only get like one or two of these games a year if you're lucky, like games that feel like special moments when they come out. Like Elden Ring was last year. Like when The Witcher 3 came out, that was, I'd say, a really special moment as well.
The God of War one, not last year's one, even though I loved last year, was my favorite game. But
the first one,
the first one, you know what I mean. yeah, that one raised the bar as well, because everyone was just like, "Whoa, they've completely changed this entire character and made him something different." And that's what we're talking about. There was bars that there was a higher standard. There's a higher standard of Baldur's Gate 3. And I cannot wait to see what that is.
Someone will push the bar higher, you know what I mean, at some point. And I look forward to playing that game. It's great. I look forward to playing good games. I'm weird like that.
All we want is just good games, for fuck's sake. Jesus. We're easy to please. That's the thing about it.
If you want to picture it, you can just picture me just sitting here, biggest smile on my face, fucking deep into Baldur's Gate, clicking away, doing the things. I think I'll take a break. And I just look at my phone and I see this bollocks happening, and it's like the long sigh, the taking the headphones off. Just like, it didn't even last a month.
That's the thing about it. That's just like how where it comes to, like, it's just, I think this is not only just, this just takes the whole thing of just like of what's happened, like in like pop culture IPs out there that have happened, like Star Wars and everything like that. I don't really like talking about that anymore because the discourse is just disgusting and vile, and I don't want to.
I mean, you remember why I basically stop talking about Star Trek on Twitter, right? Because I kept getting in fights with people who were like name searching Star Trek and finding people who liked it and just shitting on them. And you know me, I fight back. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh, you threw something at me here. Have it back.
Yeah, you fucking dropped this.
You missed me, you bastards.
Queen, you best not miss.
But that's the thing about it. It's like, come on, guys. Just praise this game, yes. Critique the game, yes.
Critique is important. Like, you don't want to say that it isn't. Like, you know, it's praise is important, and it's nice to like have positive conversations. Constructive criticism is also important. Like, that's how things get better. But like,
this video does not get better.
Shit talking. Stop it.
Shit stirring. Shit talking. Shit stirring.
You can just not say anything. You know, like the silent, like The Walking Dead taught. Telltale is The Walking Dead taught us in 2012. Silence is an option. Like, and sometimes I wish people would just take it, man. Like, they're like, again, and I'm not on Twitter anymore, thank fucking Christ. But there are some things I just couldn't talk about on Twitter because I just knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
If I did, and that sucks, man. Like, to be excited about a thing, but to also be like, I mean, I'm not going to share it because I know what will descend upon me. Fuck that. Right.
It's bad that you just can't be excited about stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's bad that you just can't be excited about things. Mm-hmm. Like, if you go back and watch all the podcasts leading up to the release of Avatar 2, did I yuck Moody's yum in any way? No, I didn't. I wasn't interested in the film. I just let him have his moment, and I was like, that sounds really cool. And then I just didn't fucking respond.
Yeah, I said you brought Joe Mudfuss on to do it the same day I watched it.
Yeah, I brought Joe Mudfuss on. I brought Joe Mudfuss on to do my dirty work. I'm a genius. I didn't know he was going to do that. I didn't even know he'd seen it. I was fully prepared for the 10 minutes of me talking about Avatar 2, and then it just turned into something else.
It's completely different.
And I was like, oh.
Oh no.
What have I done?
No. You should be texting him, shut up, Joe. Shut up, Joe. We love you, Joe.
We do love you, Joe. You're a treasure and a wonderful human being. Okay, so order of business. Now that we've talked about Baldur's Gate 3 and industry standards. Indie Game of the Week, halftime. Moody reviews a game. Moody's time to shine. All the other stuff.
Speak of the devil. He answered.
It's been over an hour, so we're going to do a quick indie game of the week and a quick halftime. Then Moody's going to review a game for everybody. It's not Baldur's Gate 3. Let's just put that out there.
No. I'm not going to review it. I'm just going to state that.
Even I haven't finished it.
Yeah, I'm not going to review that game whatsoever. If I get really in depth into when I play it on PS5 and I enjoy it, I'm just going to come out. I enjoyed the fuck out. That's all I'm going to say. And the first hour, I really enjoyed what I played. I did, I've said.
If you do play it, significantly to completion, a fucking shit ton of it, whatever, and enjoy it. I would love to do a spoiler discussion of choices and stuff, because I've been talking to somebody who's roughly in the same sort of area as me, and we've been having great conversations about I didn't know you could do that. I did a completely different thing here, and it led to all of these, and it's it's been really fun to do
that. We can definitely look into it, and there's no doubt about it. It's more of how much I play it.
That's what I'm saying.
My hope is, because we'll talk later. No, we'll talk about it later and everything like that. But my hope is maybe if I can get 20 hours out of this, I'm going to be happy with that.
That's the first act. Almost. You might get sucked in. You never know.
Maybe.
You'll definitely get sucked off.
Will I be burnt by the end?
It depends who you get sucked off by. When I tell people my sexual history in Baldur's Gate 3, they're going to be like, what? And I'm going to be like, I know, right? Wild card!
Thing is, I won't be like that. I'll be like, You go, Amy.
The internet is settled on two of the romanceable characters as the best ones, and I just went, and then I just wandered off across the street.
Amy's just like this, dude. She's walking towards him, thinking,
definitely.
Right, she just literally looks and goes,
"Wait, hold on.
Give me many hours, bye." I'm not coming back, guys, just so you know. That's what Amy's like.
Most of the people I've talked to who have played the game didn't even know it was a thing you could do. That's all I'm going to say.
All right,
I found a way. It's Indie Game of the Week. This is the thing we do every week where we talk about a cool-looking, upcoming indie game that Amy didn't play the demo for because it's Baldur's Gate 3. Sorry. But this week's Indie Game of the Week is a little game called Fruitbus. And I'm just going to read the Steam store description rather than try to describe it because, again, I haven't played it. A journey of flavors and friendships awaits you in your cozy, customizable food truck. Forage for fresh ingredients to create your own menu, then feed tummies and souls with home-cooked meals. Change the world one apple at a time.
One apple at a time. Apples are really good for you people. Eat them.
Yeah, I'm going to pass with my dental issues at the moment.
Use the other side of your mouth.
I've been trying to do that with some stuff, and it's like, do you know how awkward it is to use the other side of your mouth? To specifically use one side of your mouth like a fucking rabbit. It's not easy.
Right. Yeah,
Luckily, there's no pain, but I feel like if I try to bite into a big crispy apple, some shit might go down.
No pain, no gain.
She starts drinking a sugary energy drink and being like, yeah, it's fine, whatever.
Clearly,
clearly. She's not just making an excuse not to eat apples. Yeah, Fruitbus. It looks fun. It looks cute. It looks cozy. It's by a developer studio that I've played some of their games before. Their first game was like a horror game, so this is definitely a departure, which you'd love to see. It's coming 2024 at Steam. The link's in the description wherever you're listening to this podcast. So go click that link. Go hit that wishlist button. It really helps the developers.
Yep, it does. I can guarantee you that right now.
That's like our signature outro now.
Basically, yeah.
Come up with it psychically.
A psychic link.
And that's going to do it. When we come back from halftime, Moody's going to review Stray Gods, the role-playing musical.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, someone pointed out something interesting to me, though, that I want to mention just quickly. Is that since we've started doing these pre-written reviews, that you've reviewed more games than I have.
Have I?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. In it. I know a lot of them you've reviewed it, but I've played it and we've had the discussion about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've reviewed more games than I have since we switched this to this new format.
Interesting.
I really you know how many games I've played per year. Well, it was especially when I was in my reviewing games phase. Properly reviewing games phase. If the number of games I have played so far this year, bearing in mind it's mid-August, is shockingly low. And I'm okay with that. I feel like I've had a really good time this year.
Yeah, yes.
But anyway, speaking of games and reviewing them, maybe you've played a game this past week.
Yes, I have. I have played Stray Gods, the role-playing musical.
Tell me about it.
I will in a minute. I forgot to do my thing.
I want to.
Oh, fuck it.
I want to hear all about it.
Good. I want to tell people about it.
I'm helping you. I'm helping you stall.
Thank you very much. Okay, Stray Gods role-playing musical. It is published and developed by Summerfall Studios and Humble Games, and it's on everything. Everything. The PS5s, the PS4s, the Xbox Ones, and Series X's and S's, and PCs, and Nintendo Switches. Right now, it has an OpenCritic high rating of strong. Top critic average is at 78, with a critic's recommendation of 83. Eurogamer right now is from Eurogamer 3 out of 5, PC Gamer 81 out of 100, IGN 7 out of 10, Games Radar Plus 4 out of 5, Game Informer 8.3 out of 10. Why do they do decibels? Why just go 8? It's simpler. GameSpot 9.
Because they're cowards. We've had this discussion when we came up with our review scale.
Yeah, that's true. 9 out of 10. Destructoid 7.5 out of 10, and so on. So overall, for the most part, the game is reviewing really highly, and again, overall, well received reviews from most of the publishers. So my review.
But I don't care about those reviews. I care about your review.
Oh, thank you. Stray Gods.
Stray Dogs. That would be an interesting musical.
There is a film coming out called Strays as well, which is about dogs, which is funny. Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, a harmonious journey through gods and melodies. Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, emerges as a unique and ambitious fusion of role-playing and musical elements, creating an immersive world that harmonizes well-written characters and an engaging storyline. Developed by Summerfall Studios and published by Humble Games, the game offers a fresh take on the RPG genre, but it's not without a few hitches. The heart of Stray Gods lies in its well-crafted characters and captivating narrative. Each character is beautifully fleshed out, endowed by their own quirks and inspirations and internal struggles. The relationships you build throughout the story create a strong and emotional core to the game, making you genuinely care about their fates. The musical aspects is a standout feature with well-composed songs interwoven seamlessly into the gameplay. The melodies not only add another layer to the storytelling, but also give players a chance to express their choices and emotions through music, enhancing the role-playing experience. The storyline itself is a journey of discovery and redemption, delving into the themes of identity, sacrifice, and the power of connection. The depth of lore and the plot twists keep players invested and guessing throughout the adventure. The voice performances deserve a special mention. With a cast of industry greats bringing these characters to life, with Laura Bailey, Troy Baker, and Mary Elizabeth McGillen, and others delivering performances that lend depth and authenticity to the cast. However, I hope I say this name right. It's Jenna Galvanikar's standout portrayal of Freddy, your new BFF that steals the spotlight. Jenna's emotion and charismatic performance infects Freddy with a vibrant personality that's impossible not to adore. However, Stray Gods is without its drawbacks. One notable concern is the pacing of the game. At times, the story's momentum stumbles and stretches that could benefit from a tighter narrative flow. This occasionally affects the immersion and engagement, leaving players yearning for a more consistent pacing. Another area that could use improvement is the game's technical stability. Bugs and glitches can disrupt the experience, ranging from minor visual hiccups to a more significant issues that might require reloading checkpoints or even restarting the game. I myself had a crash. My game crashed, and that really pissed me off because I had to restart the whole thing again. Not the whole game, but the whole point I was up to. Sure. With these issues don't completely derail the experience, they do hinder the otherwise enchanting journey. In conclusion, Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, is an ambitious endeavor that succeeds in creating a world brimmed with charm, depth, and memorable characters. The musical integration is a refreshing touch that elevates the role-playing experience. However, the pacing, inconsistency, and technical glitches somewhat temper the overall enjoyment. With a bit of polish in these areas, Stray Gods has the potential to become a truly harmonious game that people will enjoy.
Welcome to the pun zone. I didn't know Mary Elizabeth McGlynn was doing voices in this. That's cool.
I think she's the character who you'll gravitate to the most, apart from Freddy.
I mean, I've played the demo. I know Freddy. I'm familiar. But no, she did the vocals for like the first 4 or 5 Silent Hill games. She was also the voice director on She-Ra. Yeah, I've been she's one of those people I've been inadvertently following the career of like my entire life.
So you're a stalker.
Guess. I guess. If you want to put it like that. Yeah, it's weird. I want to like ask questions, but like I did play the demo at the Steam Next Fest. So who's the best singer? Oh, sorry, no, that's an unfair question. Who's your favorite singer? Like in the game?
Janet. I can't say her name properly.
Freddie.
Freddie.
Freddie. Cool.
I love Freddie. Freddie's my new BFF. I got to put that out on Blue Sky. She's my new BFF. I called it first. No take backs these people. I called it. Fuck you all.
She's mine.
She's mine. But no, yeah. The cast are amazing. They really, really are some. Like, I'll state this. Since The Last of Us 1 or 2, it's Troy Baker's best performance for a long time. Like, he's really good in it. Like, really, really good. You know it's Troy Baker in everything. You can hear with his voice and everything. But like, I really enjoyed Troy in this game. Laura,
I mean,
she's magnetic. She's really, really good.
She was fucking awesome. Even in the demo, like, she didn't sing. I think that's what I said when I was doing my 25 words or less summaries. I was like, she could fucking sing.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I just love. I love it. Like, so how is the music? Like, specifically, yeah.
It's very well done. You get depending on the choice you pick from the 3 choices you get to choose from. It could really change the vibe of the song you're going for and everything like that. Which is really, 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 it can work for you. Like, depending on like the taste of music you're in and everything. Like, there was part like I picked one. I was saying the voice, she's nailing it. I just don't like the style like that and but that's just a me thing. That I can get over that.
So it changes, does it like goes so far as to change genres depending on like your choices. That? Like, you know, if rock is a genre and pop is a genre. And
yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah,
that's cool because you know, your dialogue choices and the songs themselves. You sort of you make dialogue choices in those songs as well, don't you? Like lyrical choices, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep. Blue, green, and red. We all love those colors. They
love
work
that.
So well for Mass
Love
Effect.
That.
Wonder if they'll get any donuts. Jesus. I was wondering if anyone was going to click with that. Understand that.
I forgot. And now I remembered.
Don't eat them, they'll be on the safe side.
Yeah, no, don't eat the donuts. No, that's cool. That's cool. Like, do you think the choices that you can make throughout the game how impactful are they? Moment to moment, you know.
So I went in as Paragon, I guess you could say. I tried to do is make sure everything was ended in the best way I could make it to happen and everything like that. So I don't know really if I know like there's parts like where you can literally. There's like a part in this game where you can stop someone committing suicide or they can commit suicide and everything like that. And like, so it's like, I'm not saying who it is or anything like that, who it is and whatnot, but like there is that part in that game. And the game, like it tells right now, does warn you for all these things at the beginning. Like there's a little thing like right at the beginning, like warns you there's a lot of strong themes in this game. For which could like upset some people, which I can appreciate and everything like that. So just do be warned on that, but they do warn you way in advance before you even start playing the game. But like there's that part in there, so like you can literally decide to allow this person to commit suicide if you wanted to. So I haven't. Pardon?
I just said that's interesting.
Yeah. So there's like that. So, but I don't know if that's going to really doesn't make. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference to the overall ending. Overall, I think the game is a very linear game by the end, but your impact choices can impact in a certain way.
It's like the spiderweb we were talking about with Baldur's Gate, where it's not necessarily that you're forking paths, but you're moving along the spiderweb to the same destination as everybody else.
Yeah. That's basically what this game is. Yeah.
That's cool. Do you how to write this? Like the content warning. So they come up at the beginning of the game. Do they come up like before the scene? Like you mentioned that there's a scene that involves suicide. Does it say, "Hey, the scene you're about to do"? Or is there an option for that?
I'll stay on my gameplay. I convinced the person not to commit suicide, so no. I don't think the warnings came up during the game. Okay. I think they're like they're at the beginning. Like they're at the beginning showing you this is in the game and everything like that. But they tell you like of like what these things are. They don't tell you who it is and everything like that because they don't want to spoil the game proper for like that. But they do like say this happens, this can happen, this can happen, this can happen, and this can happen, and everything like this and whatnot. And it's like, but it's like I like when it comes to like I'm always looking at like warnings and everything like that for like stuff.
It's always a good idea.
I'm developing everything like that. So it's like I was one of the ones like I'll help bring up like thinking the other people also shouted it out as well for Bramble didn't have a content warning at the beginning, but it doesn't. It did when it released and everything. But we were like saying, I think you're gonna need these things.
Hey, do you remember Boyfriend Dungeon?
Strong themes in that as well. So.
Hey, do you remember Boyfriend Dungeon?
Yeah, I even cited that.
Yeah.
I even cited that. I think the two of us did, so it was like, but that's the thing about it. Like, there's content warnings there. I just don't remember them.
Oh, that's cool. I just wondered if it was like
the incident
maybe
happens.
it's like a toggle. There's a toggle you can do where it's like you can have it so it's like, hey, warn me when shit's gonna happen. There was a game. I know there was a game that did that not that long ago. It's like a horror game, I think.
Yeah, you talked about it.
Yeah, I can't remember specifically what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was either.
But that's cool. It sounds good. Like, I'm not going to do the, hey, do you think I should play it? Because, I'm going to play it at some point.
Yes, I would say play it.
I'm definitely going to play it. So it's like, it's a weird one where it's like, I have technically already played some of it. And I know I'm definitely going to play it, so I don't need you to convince me that I'm going to play it. But it's good to hear that you had such a good time with it. That's
yes,
really
I
good.
did. Yeah,
that's really good. I saw you pop up on my PlayStation app playing it, and I was like, nice. I respect that.
Yeah. I'll finish with my rating. I gave Stray Dog.
You gave Stray Dogs.
Stray Dogs, the role-playing dog walk, a 4 out of 5.
Nice. Lovely rating for a lovely game.
But there's more. I said that I'm going to give a quick little thoughts of second episode of the Expanse to Telltale Stories.
Yeah. That came out.
Really good episode.
Awesome.
Had a lot of fun with it. It's really, really good. Dammy, it's making me go, do I want to rewatch the Expanse?
I mean, does it take much to make you think that, though?
No, that's true. That's true. No, but like this is really making me go, I could. And there's a thing at the end where I'm just like, there's only one choice. There's only one choice. And to that 18% who clearly picked the wrong choice, I have to question you. A lot. There's only one choice. You fucking idiots. And that's going to call you that. No, it's really, really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'll state saying what you said, Amy. Wish this was all out straight away, Telltale. Like, seriously, you should have all put it out straight away because I feel you're getting lost in the wake of everything.
You are. Baldur's Gate came out. Like, sorry. That's
by the time the third episode comes out, Starfield's going to be out and Baldur's Gate 3 on PlayStation 5. And it's like,
I mean, that's what I said, right? When we were talking
Yeah.
about the Expanse in its release window, and like I said, like, man, Baldur's Gate's out. Like, if it all came out when it first came out,
you could have smashed it.
I could have smashed through it, but it was just like I knew what was going to happen when PG3 came out. It was like, if it was good, I was going to get obsessed with it. Because I played Divinity Original Sin 2. It's one of my favorite RPGs of all time. So I knew that if they did the same thing again, like
no, I understood it. I understood it.
But the amount of time that takes rolls into, like, for most people, Starfield. For me, Sea of Stars. It's just occurred to me how similar the names of those two games are. I've never said them out loud back to back before.
Stars, both saying it.
Yeah. But no, it's good that you're enjoying it. What I might do is, because we had a lot of fun doing the Quarry last year when we streamed it, and I know we've talked about like revisiting The Walking Dead because neither of us have played the final season. But I don't know if you want to hang out while I play The Expanse and you can yell at me for making all the bad choices at some point later in the year.
You control, I steer.
Yeah, but then you're just going to steer me into all the choices that you made the first time.
No, I'm going to steer you into the opposite.
Good, great. Yeah. So I get to become one of the 18% that you're shouting at. Yeah, fantastic.
No, trust me. I'm going to give you the high percentage, Jamie, there. Don't worry.
You control and I'll steer. Because you own the game already.
But that's not fair. You're not getting the experience.
That's true. I mean, I feel like I got the experience of the Quarry. I feel like I got the experience.
I will.
Instead of the game yelling at me, you yelled at me. And I didn't have to worry about fucking up any of the QTE, so it was fine.
I'll say again, amazing accessibility options in the Expanse, just for like QTE, like what you're saying, like quick time events and everything. Like you can stop that and just like go, okay, who do I want to die here, or something like that.
Sorry.
The person who was only partially a douchebag, or the person who was really a douchebag?
I know you try to bring it back on topic, but I had a flashback to you screaming chainsaw at me. Chainsaw!
And if you all want to know what we're talking about, go and check out the highlights, because they're out there.
There's a banging highlight video with lots of Quarry clips in it.
Oh my god, I think we broke the internet.
We broke ourselves.
We broke ourselves at least, that's for sure.
We need more choice-based games like that. Please and thank you.
Well, thankfully, hopefully, like, we are getting Among Us 2 next. Not Among Us 2, Wolf Among Us 2 next.
Hopefully, at some point.
Hopefully,
but yes, no, we'll figure that stuff out later.
That's
but I'm glad you're enjoying The Expanse. I look forward to hearing more about the episodes.
Next episode's a week Friday. That's the thing about it. I'll just say this. Why do it every 2 weeks? I could understand if it was like 1 week and then the week after, the week after, the week after, the week after. I still wouldn't agree with it, but then I'll be like, that's okay. But you're not. You're doing one, then 2 weeks later, 1, 2 weeks later, 1, 2 weeks later, 1. It's just like, why? Why you do this? You're getting forgotten about, and that's annoying.
It happened. This is what happened the last time.
Yeah. Like, I thought, like, Life is Strange 3, True Colors, like, it's hung around because you dropped it all at once.
Yeah. People like me and Moody played it in like a day. And then played it again. Which is more or less what happened, I think.
I downloaded it on PS5.
Nice.
Because it's on the PlayStation Plus thingy, the jiggy. So I just went...
Platinum time, baby.
Updated to PS5.
4K.
That's what I'm like, yeah. Some of the games have been looking pretty tasty on my 4K TV, I'm not going to lie.
I respect, considering I know how much you talk about 4K in your day-to-day life after visiting you, I respect the restraint you've shown on the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah. But you know what? It's not time for restraint anymore, Moody. It's time for your time to shine. It's time to shine. Interesting. Oh. Like you just rip your t-shirt open and you're just covered in glitter. fully leaned into the title of the segment. Oh yeah,
with lights shining down on me as well.
Oh yeah, like you just push a button and spotlights turn on. It's like my only response would literally be, "When did you get spotlights put in?" So we don't have a whole lot to talk about really in Mooney's Time to Shine, but that's fine because we also don't have a whole lot of time.
That first topic was going to take up the lot I thought it was going to.
Oh yeah.
Because he was a stupid idiot. Whatever.
But yeah, it's cool. It's fine. Where do you want to go? Drive the bus.
Let's go to Capcom. Just clearly just pissing on me, and they're just calling it rain.
You like that joke so much, you said it again. Exoprimal might include Dino Crisis content in the future. So yeah, this was an interview with Silicon Era. Exoprimal director Takuro Hirooka was asked directly if Dino Crisis content was coming in the game and responded, quote, Leviathan is the type of entity that will go to any means to collect a variety of useful combat data. If there's enough demand from players, Leviathan very well could make this a reality, end quote. Might bring a dinosaur from Dino Crisis
into a dinosaur game.
into the dinosaur game.
It's seriously, they're just standing on me now. They're like, seriously, they're just kicking me while I'm down. That's all it is right now. It's like this clearly just saying even more. It's like, yeah, really, you're not getting that Dino Crisis remake.
Hey, I mean, I've been saying it for years.
Fuck you.
Not that part.
They're like saying, fuck you. We've barely got a play list for this game now, so that clearly shows that dinosaurs don't sell. So fuck you.
I installed it. But I just never got around to it, and now the big swingers are out now. So it's like it's one of those games that's just going to sit on my hard drive until I delete it for space.
The thing is, the big swingers ain't going to stop swinging now. Like from here onwards, now it's just swing after swing after swing after swing.
See, when I was thinking of swings, I was thinking of a bat, like a baseball metaphor. You went in a different direction. And I don't. You know, hey, you do you. Yeah. No, so I mean, they might put. I don't know. What can you put from Dino Crisis in the game? Because it's like, oh, you can put the dinosaurs because it's a dinosaur game. Sure, but it's a dinosaur game. So like, have the iconic Dino Crisis dinosaurs not already made their appearance in the dinosaur game? You can't put Regina in the game because you've got a character in the game that already looks like Regina. You're going to put that blonde-haired guy from Dino Crisis 2. He was so memorable, I've already forgotten his name.
It's been a few years, Amy. Even I've forgotten his name, I'm not going to lie.
I only played it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's just... It's just like, it's really annoying, man. It's like I said, they're just kicking me while I'm down.
Maybe this is the moment. Maybe this is their way of saying, like, listen, tell us you want Dino Crisis, and maybe we'll make it happen.
They did when they announced this game, and Dino Crisis was trending instead of this game. How did they not? Oh, I can appreciate. That they might be developing it. They might be actually doing a remake of it, and obviously just staying very quiet right now. And I'm like, sure, because like we spoke about it earlier of how from that stupid idiot of how difficult video games development is, and it is incredibly difficult. And this could be a very good difficult game to create and everything, and that's absolutely fine. Just give me some kind of a fucking hint, please, a sniff, anything that there's a hint that you are remaking this game one day, please. I just need a hint, and I'll be quiet for a long time, even if it doesn't come for 10 years.
As long as you know, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how long was I talking about an Alan Wake sequel? And then when I finally got it confirmed in that Control DLC, I shut up about it.
You did?
Mm-hmm. I was excited.
You did so much that you didn't even talk about when the remaster came out and didn't even play it.
I didn't, no. I instead made a 90-minute Control video.
You did as well.
Which was at least 15 minutes of that was about Alan Wake, because I was sneaky.
It was as well. It was.
It was very sneaky.
Continue on upwards. Starfield has gone gold.
That's it. It's gone gold. People are, I think, preloading just went out live. Let me just check something, because the file size wasn't... Like, when it went gold, they didn't say what the file size was, but
because they're still developing.
It's 100. It's 125 gig on Xbox and 140 gig on PC, so it's about the size of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. This is this is the thing about it. Like, for what I've realized, definitely like that. Thankfully, is that from what I work and everything like that, gold does not mean the game's complete, people. Doesn't even mean that it's polished or anything like that. They can still put things in a gold build.
Gold means they're printing the discs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the version of the game that they currently have at Bethesda Game Studios is what they're burning to the discs.
But yeah. I hope this game is good. Like, I am looking forward to it. Like, I've literally bought the headset and the controller. You can see the boxes right there.
That was a cool reveal, because you've been standing in front of it the entire podcast. You've inadvertently gone, "Ha! Surprise!" It's a nice cabinet.
The light's too light.
The light's too bright. It's like that. It's like that game controller light behind me. It's too bright. It's too powerful.
Yeah, but no, yeah, it's like, yeah.
I've seen people talking about this on Blue Sky, and just being excited that it's like getting closer and closer, and I'm just really happy for those people.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm gonna give it a go. It's gonna be fucking interesting, because the same fucking dates that Baldur's Gate 3 drops on PS5.
What wins, like, sci-fi or fantasy?
That is a very interesting question. Like, I bet PlayStation, when they saw the reviews and everything for Baldur's Gate 3, they were like, "Well, do we care about Starfield anymore? No, we don't give a fuck."
That's when Jim Ryan officially signed the thing saying, "Yeah, fuck it, we don't care anymore."
Yeah. Basically, yeah, because like, it's like, I didn't even realize they were coming out on the same day. Like,
yeah, well, so it was like, originally it was like the same. Originally, both games were supposed to be launching around the same week or something like that, wasn't it? Yeah. And then they moved the PC version forward. I guess they couldn't move the PS5 version forward for a variety of reasons, but yeah, they're coming out on the same day now. So like, that's great. But that's great. So like, both Xbox players and PS5 players are going to feast. Like, if you like RPGs and you only have one of the other consoles, you've got a game.
Like, I don't know which one to start.
I mean,
like, I'm getting both.
Do you want my completely biased opinion, or?
Yes.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Here we go then.
Odds. Play Starfield and tell me if it's worth playing for me.
Okay, that's fair.
But no, like, I mean, I prefer one to the other, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. There's no doubt. Pokemon Company is having conversations about game quality won't slow down release schedule.
Yep. This is a longish quote, but according to the Pokemon Company Chief Operating Officer Takato Utsunomiya, quote, "I think in general, if you look at the past, the path we've taken up until now has been this constant release, always regularly releasing products on a fairly fixed kind of cadence, you might say. That's how we've operated up until now, and I think we're still operating in that way. But there's more and more conversations as the development environments change about how we can continue to do this while making sure that we're ensuring really quality products are also being introduced," end quote. This comes following increasing fan complaints at buggy releases following last year's Scarlet and Violet entries.
So, I didn't tell you this. Last night, I started Scarlet again.
So what you're telling me is you're not playing neither Baldur's Gate or Starfield.
No. I started Scarlet last night. There's a couple of weeks left for the Baldur's Gate thing. I'm fine. No, I started Scarlet and I thought,
I'm going to send you one screenshot and one sentence, and I reckon it'll convince you to play Baldur's Gate 3.
It's what I did to you for...
Oh shit, you did? What was the game? What game did you do that with?
One of my favorite games.
You sent me a screenshot. Was it not Life is Strange 2?
OFK?
No, it was We Are RFK. You sent me a screenshot of phone text message conversation, and I went, "I'm going to review that on the podcast for you next week." And I did.
You did?
But sorry, getting back to Pokemon.
Yeah, and it's... I was like, you're fucking still the same.
Yeah.
You're fucking still the same. It just breaks my heart.
You used a lot of words to say nothing.
Yeah, that's what the guy literally said. Like,
It's
come
like,
on, man.
The problem has been identified, and it's that the cadence that you're releasing these games is too fast. Like, there was 2 Pokemon games in 2022. 3,
Really? Three within 18 months of each other.
Yeah, because you had the remakes?
The Diamond and Pearl remakes in 20...
it was like late 2021.
Then January 2022 was Arceus, and then at the end of the year was Scarlet and Violet.
And that went really great. Because,
And
look, right?
Arceus was a great game, but that was buggy still as fuck.
Oh, yeah, I remember watching your stream. But... you played Scarlet or Violet, I don't remember which one, when it came out, and didn't even finish it, which just is fucking unprecedented in the realm of Moody playing Pokemon games for starters. But even I've, started it, a month ago, and even I'm like, Moody, this game doesn't run well. And it's had patches, since it came out, and I've applied those patches to the game, and I'm still getting, 10 to 15 FPS in some areas. And I don't know why. I don't like using it looks like an old generation game, but Violet does look like a game that came out years ago.
People bitched about the visual style that Pearl and Diamond remake did. I don't have any bugs from that game whatsoever. There's bugs, there's no doubt about it. I'm sure there is
bugs in all games.
That. Yeah, but I have not had one that's made me visually want to walk away from it.
I worry when I'm playing Violet, because I worry because I've played games like that, and it's not because of the art style almost makes the frame rate problems less egregious because I'm having fun with the game.
Yeah,
but I worry about the streaming experience of people coming to watch this game, and it's fucking jittering away while I'm running around the fields, and it's riding around the fields on my Pokemon motorbike, and it's this can't be a good viewing experience.
I bet it's not. I bet it's not at all. Which sucks, yeah. We haven't really had a mainline game this year. I'm guessing we're gonna get one next year, and then I stated, if they go off what their normal release schedule is in 2025, we're going to get the next generation.
Cool. So we get Captain Picard as a Pokemon and stuff. I see myself out. I mean, look, right? You were spot on when you predicted Arceus and Scarlet and Violet and Pearl and Diamond and stuff and all when they were all coming out. So I'm just going to go, yeah.
I am just going off what the normal trend is.
Well, he says it himself. We operate with a cadence, and we're still going to be operating that way. So yeah, those games are going to come out when you've followed Pokemon long enough to know what that cadence is. So you know when those games are going to come out.
This is where I kind of wish that the Nintendo owned them. Because they don't. I think people don't realize that sometimes because they're always constantly on Nintendo products and everything. But I kind of wish Nintendo owned them because, one, they would probably keep the staff and everything, but also they would say, no, you got to hold this off. We know we've got a great game here, and if you guys hold it off and just polish it for the next 6 months to a year, when you re-release, the money you've made now is gonna be nothing compared to what you could make next. And that's the thing about it. I can appreciate it's a corporate structure and you want to make money for a game, but make money in the right way without pissing off your fans. If you only have a small minority pissed off, you can ignore them. Don't worry. But when the consensus is nothing but joy, you get nothing but love from it.
That's true. When you because obviously the conversation around Violet and Scarlet wasn't, what a great game. It was, oh Jesus.
What are you?
I've watched PowerPoints that run smoother than this.
I'll state this. I was very surprised you didn't pick the kitty cat as your star. Figurito.
I let chat influence me.
Should never listen
To be fair, I wanted all three of them.
That's fair.
I think I ended up
I can
choosing.
send you them. I can start doing the game and just send you it if you
Oh
want.
no, like my team is sorted. Actually, I need to talk about that in what's happening next week. But I think it was literally the name Quaxley that pushed it over the edge. There was nothing between them. I wasn't going like, yeah, that one's just a little bit, like that one just a little bit more. It was just literally like, I love all of you equally. Is there an option to abscond with all three and just run away?
So long, suckers!
Wasn't an option.
It's not, sadly. But yeah. Next, we will go. Let's Build a Zoo is getting an aquarium expansion.
Sometimes, I put stories in here just for myself, and sometimes I just put them in for Mooney. Let's Build a Zoo Aquarium Odyssey launched on August 17th, which was today, and the day we're recording the podcast. Yesterday, if you're listening to it when it comes out, featuring 7 new habitats and 50 plus new creatures. You loved this game when it came
This game was amazing when it came out. I want to say 2021.
Probably.
Think so. Yeah, I absolutely adored this game. It was such a fun game, such a chill game to just sit back and just play and everything. And I absolutely adored it. It was one of my favorite games that year. And yeah, it's great to see that they still get throwing out content and giving them expansions. And it just shows that the game's got a great audience, that people come out and still play and everything and whatnot. Because obviously you don't keep adding to the game if you don't have the audience, and so they're having the audience, which is great to see. And I'm really happy to hear these guys. No More Robots are absolutely a fantastic little developer, and I'm so happy for them.
Yeah. No, yeah, unless you're trying to desperately revive a dying live service game. Yeah, you don't release expansions for games that are dead. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
You don't do that.
Not at all.
So yeah, the player numbers must have been there when it came out. Let's Build a Zoo. Aquarium Odyssey. Are you looking it up?
What? No, I was looking at something else.
No, it's fine. I figured, I realized when I was reading the story that it's probably out now.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Game post the post released to 5 probably.
Yeah, that's cool. You gonna play
it?
In amongst all the other games that you're gonna play?
Well, for me, I have probably I have a break right now for what I want to play right now.
That's true.
Until I saw the game that released today from the developers who created that cowboy game I reviewed a few years ago, Desperado 3, I think. Who released the game?
We're going to talk about that later. Yeah.
I've got that was coming.
I've got an idea. So that entire premise is I've got an idea for a new little section to add to the end of the podcast, but we'll talk about it when we get there. Because a couple of things happened when I went on OpenCritic today to check the scores for this, and I was like, huh. And it's made me think there's a thing we could do in the podcast, but we'll talk about it in 10 minutes. Actually, Not even 10 minutes, a few minutes. Yeah, we got time for a couple of quick ones. We always knew we weren't going to get through much.
We weren't. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl releases this December, according to distributor.
Oh, God. Sorry, not because of that. My scroll too far. There we go. According to a listing by distributor Plyon, the game will launch on December 1st, 2023. This is unlikely a placeholder, as other games with no firm release date from Plyon are listed as December 31st. From the bottom of my heart, please no. I've got too many games to play this year. Please, no, don't do it. Please, let me live. I can't take another potential banger coming out this year.
Yeah,
she's gonna sing, Captain.
Yeah. Well, no, First, shout out, if this is true, shout out to the entire team. Obviously, under the extreme circumstances that they're under. Obviously, if you know, this team, the developer works in Ukraine right now, so they're literally creating the game while also fighting a war.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Yeah. No,
so
yeah, like mad respect.
Mad respect to them. Like, I know that they've lost members of their team because of the war and everything. They've stated this. I won't be surprised if you don't see something either in the game as a memorial or something in honor of them in the credits or anything like that. But yeah, like I hope this game is absolutely amazing, everything for them, and it just brings some little light to a dark time for them and right now. And yeah, that's just I'm a huge sucker with Chernobyl. So when I saw Chernobyl in it, I was just like, I'm sold. Take my money. That's what I was like after all the
first one was in Chernobyl, set in Chernobyl as well.
Didn't know that.
You can play it now on Steam, really, because pretty sure I own the entire franchise.
Amy, I've got other games to play right now. I'm not going backwards. Okay, I'm looking forwards. Leave me alone.
I like how we said you made the same point I did at the beginning of this.
Yeah, that's true.
Please no. My family are dying. My family being me.
I've just started Scarlet again. Who knows how long I'll last because the game's already annoying me.
That's as someone who's got like 4 streams of that game under a belt. Yeah, I get that. Look, this game, like if it's anywhere near the original game, like in terms of quality, it's gonna be really fucking great. And I look forward to trying to find the time desperately. But let's do one more quick one.
Quick one, all right. Overwatch 2 is now the worst game of all time, according to Steam reviews.
This is true. Overwatch 2 launched on Steam and within 2 days amassed enough negative reviews to become the platform's worst game of all time. The game has more than 70,000 negative reviews at the time of writing. Do you want me to read some of these reviews?
You want to?
I can.
It's up to you. How much time do we have?
I'll read the first one and the last one. So the first one, quote, I somehow purchased Overwatch 1 for $40, which Blizzard then deleted and created this predatory microtransaction simulator instead. It's the exact same game, but they removed all the stuff you paid full price for in Overwatch 1. If you played Overwatch 1 at launch, this is not only identical, it's the exact same game. Biggest cash grab of the 21st century, end quote. Most of the reviews go on like that, but there was one that kind of hit a little bit for me, which was the one I put at the end, which is, quote, Overwatch will always be special to me, which is why it's so heartbreaking to see it suffer through greed and mismanagement. You might enjoy the game, but it's no secret that the good days of Overwatch are long gone, end quote. So I watched Skillup do his weekly news thing, and he said, you got it. You talked about this story, and he mentioned the monetization in this game being worse than in the first game. And like, I can't remember his exact quote, but it was something along the lines of, if your monetization system in your game is worse than loot boxes, you know you've fucked up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Because, that's how Overwatch 1 worked. But yeah, no, that like, it was funny to laugh. Like, you know, they put it out on Steam to try and pump the numbers up, and obviously you take an aggregate of the number of reviews, it's literally the worst game of all time on reviewing on Steam. But that last review did really hit home for me personally, is like, Overwatch was special. Like, at one point for me as well. And it does suck that, like, they fucking killed it. They killed it right in front of me, Moody. They deleted my Overwatch icon and replaced it with Overwatch 2 on my Xbox. Like, it literally died.
I'm really sorry for all the people who love Overwatch and everything. Like, I remember when this game came out, I never really heard much about it when it wasn't a game for me. But like, everyone was praising it, shouting out to the highs, to the ceiling for it and whatnot. And yeah,
you heard plenty about it, Moody, because I know you listen to my Xbox and me, I know I didn't shut the fuck up about that game.
I know you didn't.
It was a meme on that bloody show. What have you been playing this week? Would it shock you to learn I've been playing Overwatch?
But no way, your co-host also did the same thing. Would you shock you to hear that I was playing PUBG or Rainbow Six Siege and everything? And I was there with Rainbow Six Siege. Like, so it's like, we all go through that stage. Like, didn't we go through a stage when we were recording the podcast and all we were saying, "What have we played?" Well, I played the same thing as you. What was that? Apex Legends. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We all go through it. So.
It happens. You know, you get it, like, what have I played this week? Baldur's Gate. What did I play last week? Baldur's Gate. What am I playing next week? Baldur's Gate.
So that's what I'm expecting to hear from you, yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was sad. Like, I remember when Overwatch 1, when they turned the servers off, as someone who hadn't played or even watched the game for a couple of years, but I randomly found like a bunch of the Overwatch League players had got together to play the game until the servers went down, and it was like oddly emotional to like watch it wind down like that. And I was just like, man, like this game meant so much at one point, and now it just doesn't.
I need to get my chat.
Okay. I just hit the pause button. It was easier than talking. Yeah, so it's the time for the last part of the podcast. Normally we'd start with what's happening next week, but so like we talked about just before, where I was saying like I opened OpenCritic and 2 games were on there with like an 85 that had just come out, and I was like, both of these games snuck past me. Like, you know, when you just open the phone, you look and you go, huh. You see that little orange face, and I was like, oh, okay. So I was thinking, like, oh, what if we shout out like games that we miss that come out and they're like getting positive receptions, and you just say, hey, these games look pretty cool. Maybe give them a shot. So the first one, which you were talking about, which I'm guessing was Shadow Gambit: The Cursed Crew.
Yeah.
Which is like a stealth tactics game.
Pirate stealth tactic game.
Pirate stealth tactic game. Yeah, sorry.
Oh my! How's this gone under the radar for me? Like, I really enjoyed Pretty sure it was Desperados 3.
I don't know. It's weird.
Like,
I'd heard of it, but I didn't know anything about it. And like, so like I had that name recognition, but I didn't know anything about the game. And I was like, oh, it's got an 85 on OpenCritic. And it was the same for the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, which again I'd heard of, but I didn't know much about it. And then I opened it, and it's got an 85 on OpenCritic. So like these games that we didn't talk about last week, doing like OpenCritic Head-To-Head or what's happening next week and stuff, but might be worth checking it out.
Devolver Digital game.
It's a Devolver Digital game. It's developed by Deconstruct Team. They made the Red Strings Club, which is a great game that I reviewed in 2017, 2018, even when it came out. And it sounds really good. It's a tarot, like you build a tarot deck, and it's a narrative-heavy game that explores like all sorts of different themes that really vibe with me. So I was like, shit, I really need to get on this. That game looks like Amy game was stamped on its forehead. I'm not gonna lie,
Amy. I think both of them are Amy gaming games. I think you would really get into the thingy, the other one as well. So I was gonna say, we'll discuss it, see if we can go talk.
Let's chat. So yeah, we might do every now and again if games come out that surprise us and they get like a lot of good receptions. I might just sneak it in there just before we do a what's happening next week. Games to watch out for that came out. I don't know. I'll think of a name for it. But yeah. But what is happening next week? So I got some bad news that I've been saving for this part of the podcast, which is I need a new Switch controller. So last week,
your Joy-Cons are gone.
So last week the stream didn't happen because I was having trouble with my Joy-Cons. And I decided to just kill the stream because it was way too humid anyway. Like I'd sat at the starting student screen trying to mess with my controllers for like 5 minutes, and I was already like pouring sweat off me. And I was like, you know what? For the benefit of me and the fact that I'd have to like not play Pokemon, I'm just gonna kill the stream. But so there seems to be an issue with my Switch not charging my controllers consistently, and they're the only ones I've got. So, and I don't have one of those charging grip so I can't plug them in. So I'm gonna stream again. Like by the time this podcast comes out, I'll have been streaming. But I'm gonna have to put Pokemon on hold for a little bit. I'm gonna have to put Nintendo on hold for a little bit. In general, and probably get myself a Pro controller when I get the chance. So yeah, the whole like Pokemon, it's like I would love to continue Pokemon, but I don't think I can promise that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna play, but it won't be Pokemon, at least not for a while. So that's what's happening. 6 p.m. Fridays, twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. I will be streaming something. We'll see what it is. Even I don't know what it is. It won't be Baldur's Gate. I'm like 55 hours into that game. But yeah, no, I thought I'd better mention that. What else is happening next week, though, Moody? Gamescom is happening next week, starting on Wednesday, August 23rd, ending Sunday, August 27th. Jazzy Jeff Keighley has done his usual thing of saying, hey, whoa, don't get your expectations too high. That was it. That's what he said.
So what, Wednesday's thing start on Wednesday?
I believe
that's when
opening night live is on Tuesday, because it's always before Gamescom starts.
Thanks.
But I don't know, because to be quite frank, I don't even know if I want to watch it.
Yeah,
When is opening night live? Like, opening night live 2022 also did include, the whole like, hey, check out Harry Potter, woo! And I just don't know if I want to.
The thing is that like, I'll probably watch it, but I just don't know if I want to. Don't take this the wrong way, audience. I just don't think I want to stream it.
I don't know that like me complaining about Jeff Keighley for 2 hours is really gonna. I don't want to put that out into the world, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I've got something happening hopefully next week. Well, not hopefully, it is happening next week, which I'm incredibly, me and my partner are incredibly excited about. Then yeah, I don't think I want Jeff Keighley to be a downer next week for me. So I'm like,
that's fair.
I might watch it, I might not.
Tuesday, August 22nd, 7 p.m.
You know what? I won't watch it. I'll watch it the next day, but I'll fast forward past him.
Does someone do a cut of just the trailers? Like, just cut Jeff Keighley out of the whole
I will
thing?
love you. I'll pay you. I'll pay you for that. Please, I'll pay you for that. Okay?
That's fair. That's fair. I would love to see that too. I can't pay you. I don't have any money. But I'd love to see that.
That's fair.
It's going to be fun. There's Xbox live streams happening and like other places. They'll be like smaller live streams. We'll get some game reveals. If that Stalker story we talked about is true, I imagine that's what's going to happen somewhere at Gamescom.
Probably, yeah.
And, we'll hear from people playing games on the show floor as well.
Yeah. But you know what's going to happen? This is where Dino Crisis Remake is revealed, and I'm not there to watch it. You just know.
When you watch the trailers, you're going to have to point the camera at yourself. Delete the footage afterwards if nothing happens, but just on the
and just send it to you.
Yeah, just send it to me and I'll sort the rest out. I'll figure it out. Also next week, TennoCon is Saturday, August 26th. That's the Warframe developer, so it's the big Warframe.
Was going to ask
party.
That question. What's that? What is this?
It's the big Warframe party. As someone who's dipped in and out of Warframe recently, it's like.
So this is where Henry Cavill's going to be next week.
Oh yeah. No, that's Warhammer. That'll be Warhammer. This is Warframe's. Warframe's the ninja.
Oh
MMO
yeah.
game.
Oh yeah. Sorry to the Warframe and Warhammer fans. I apologize.
In defense, both of your franchises begin with the word war.
Yeah. And Frame and Hammer kind of saying the same as well, so it doesn't help.
Maybe Henry Cavill really does like Warframe too. You never know.
Yeah, he might be there anyway.
And Amy's game to watch that's coming out next week. I know Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon is out next week, and that's obviously like the big game. But you know what? I never liked Armored Core. I'm just gonna say it, so I'm not really that bothered about this. So my game to watch next week is Blasphemous 2, which is
already got reviews.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think it's at 82, 83 on OpenCritic.
That's good. I have it in my fantasy critic team.
17.
So I'll take that. Yeah, I didn't play the first one, but it looked interesting. It was one of those things where the timing didn't line up. And I'm looking forward to it. I might play the second one. There's physical copies, which means I can rent it. But I think they're on a delay. So
sounds about right.
But yeah, no, that's my game to watch. Look it up. If it sounds interesting to you. It's like a dark, gritty, Metroidvania-esque, Souls-like 2D combat thing. Yanksy Mooney yawning, which I know has nothing to do with what I'm saying, but it does also probably accurately reflect his interest in the game, which is fair. It's definitely not a Moody game.
Probably not. But I have enjoyed like Metroidvanias. Like I loved Dead Cells, loved Hollow Knight, not Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight as well. Really loved Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight was great.
But give it a look. See, and Spanish developers, I believe, as well. But anyway, it's time to play OpenCritic Head-To-Head. It's a game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic averages of upcoming games. Bomber Cyberpunk was one we tried to do last week, but it comes out Friday, and it looks like it's not getting reviews until it comes out. So I just checked.
It's an online game, isn't it?
It is not. I don't think it's just a Jet Set Radio inspired game. I don't know. I haven't really followed along with this development. I don't think it's an online game. So we'll probably pick that up next week. But we also try to guess the OpenCritic average of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I guessed it would get a 60. Moody guessed it would get a 55. And Vitz, who was a special guest last week, guessed it would get a 68. And at the time of recording, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has an OpenCritic average of 78.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Seems like it's doing pretty well. Like, we were all pretty pessimistic about that game last week. And I was quite surprised when I opened OpenCritic and I saw what it was on. Which gives Vitz the point. Yeah, sorry.
No. Congratulations to the team and everything. Like, I know I went with a low score and everything just because I just didn't think anyone would. I didn't think that it would be well received. I've never played it. That's maybe a highly judgmental thing of me to think, say. But no, I Texas Chainsaw just is a thing that just never worked for me. I've never understood the franchise or the appeal of the franchise. But I'm sure there's franchises I like that people say, I don't know why you like them. So, congratulations to the team. I'm sure they worked their asses off for this, so congrats.
Yes, I agree. So that was everything. Vitz gets the first points for our special guests. Only took. I know we haven't had that many, but still, come on, guys. The scores
doesn't help, but we haven't had many, Amy. I'm not gonna lie.
They could have scored at least one. That's all I'm saying. That puts the current scores: Amy 24, Moody 17, 1 point for the guests, 2 draws. Vitz 1. It's just got Vitz 1. This week, we're going to try and guess the OpenCritic average of a few games. The first one, as I mentioned, the big game release for next week, is Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Comes out next Friday. This is From Software developed sequel to the Armored Core series, which I believe the last release was on PS2.
I think so. If not 2, it's 3.
I remember playing one of the games on PS1. Russ really liked them. I just couldn't get away with it personally. Not to say anything about the quality of the games. It's very much a not for me kind of thing. But what do we think this is going to get? I think people love Armored Core, as I've found recently, which I didn't realize. But I don't know whether it's like they love From Software, who are definitely like a bigger name now than they were when they made Armored Core. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna go 88. Never fails. I was scrolling through Fantasy Critic not long ago and I realized Vitz has taken my role as the person who picks all the games that get 88 on OpenCritic.
Right now, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go safe. I'm just gonna go 87. I don't know why I have this feeling it's going to go higher than 88 or it's going to be 88.
Well, I'm not going to say it. I don't want it, it's in now. And I'm not trying to influence you in any way, but every time you've gone safe, one below me, it's always gone higher.
I know that. My brain was literally thinking that.
We're also going to try and guess the OpenCritic average of Immortals of Avium. This is the first-person fantasy shooter by previous developers of Call of Duty. Except instead of guns, you shoot spells. I think we're in the 70s territory with this one. I think you've got the pedigree of like previous, like Call of Duty's always gameplay wise has always been spot on. I just haven't seen or heard much of like this game leading into its release. I'm gonna go with 75. That's where I'm gonna land on that one.
76.
Not to influence you. I'm gonna play it safe in the other direction.
It's just Kamtor's gonna be high here and think he's gonna be below, isn't it?
I was gonna say, like, you realize like you're playing it safe, but this could also just blow up in your face.
Of course it's gonna blow up in my face.
See, I just go with my. I'm not trying to like play the statistics or anything. I'm like, what do I legitimately number do I think it's gonna have? Apart from Avengers, that was the only time I didn't do that. And Sonic. What Sonic game was it where I guess 69 for a joke and it got 69? I also wasn't being serious then. And
the thing is, it's not my fault that the two games, I'm not going to legit lie. Like, I was going to pick 88 for Armored Core and I was going to pick 75 for Immortal 11. So I'm just like, well, I'm going to stay close to the number that I was going to go for. So it's like, I'm not sorry.
I can read your thoughts, apparently. So the last one we're going to guess is Fort Solis, which is one of the many horror games that was revealed by Jeff Keighley last year. This is the one that had Troy Baker in it. And it was on the cover of an Edge magazine. And it somehow, despite those two things being a fact, forgot this game was coming out. Because it sounded interesting when I was reading about it in Edge. But
I've just had a look at it on Steam and I was thinking, oh god, I forgot about this game.
Yeah, because it does look interesting. But it's got
really good, yeah.
It feels like it's cursed with that sort of like I continuously forget about it and then remember about it. You know, like you're in that cycle of, oh, this game, it looks really good. And then you forget about it for 3 months until you see it again. And then you go, oh, yeah, this game, it looks really good. Well, it's out next week.
And you just go, oh, well, fuck's sakes.
But I think... see, this one, I think it might not get very many reviews. But that means that it's a wild card. Because sometimes games that don't get very many reviews can get a lot of really positive ones, and they can shoot up through the, like it can hit really high. I'm gonna guess that it's going to get 72.
75.
I was gonna go higher, and then I pulled myself back because I remembered that there's that weird thing where horror games don't really tend to trend a bit lower. Unless they're called Dead Space and Resident Evil.
Very much, yeah.
That's going to do it then. We've got our guesses locked in. If we get all of these next week, it's going to be a bonanza week next week. If we get Bomb Rush Cyberpunk plus all three of these. Points will be thrown around all over the place. But yeah, cool. That's going to do it for episode number of the Words About Games podcast. It's been a fun one. It's been a fun one.
It has been a fun one, like always, and everything like that. Like we talked about an interesting topic by an idiot, and talked about an interesting game that I thought was really good. Well, thought was really good, and I hope everyone who's heard my review has been sparked to have a look at it, because I think it's a very interesting game. It's a very fun game. Beautiful art style. Like I said, I forgot to talk about the art style, but the art style is very beautiful in that game. And we've talked about some interesting little Moody's Time to Shine story where I ripped off my shirt and shined lights on me and I was sparkling.
Body glare. You look like a vampire from Twilight.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah, nailed it.
I was team Edward all the way.
for our audio listeners, that did not actually happen. We are joking. Also, don't like as a what's happening next week addendum. I'm not reviewing Baldur's Gate next week. I'm just throwing it out.
Review it when you do.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be there yet. Maybe the week after.
Yeah.
That seems to be where I'm heading in terms of like how fast I'm playing the game.
Fair.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Indeed.
Whenever I review it, that's when I review it. But let's get out of here, Moody. Do you have any final thoughts for the end of the podcast?
As always, I mean, it's Friday. The weekend is here, people. So, as always, tell someone you love them. Give your family a hug. Go and have an awesome weekend. Like, jump up high and high five the sky and shout out to the world that you are awesome, because truly you are. The world is better with you in it. And don't listen to the naysayers, because you are awesome. And have an awesome weekend. Peace out.
Peace out.